Hey guys, how's it going? It's Shay and welcome back to The Utmost Geek. Here is today's subject, and it is not actually the main subject of this video, to be honest, but this is a Dell Inspiron 660S, and I picked this up from eBay for, it's like £20 or something, but the reason I wanted to pick it up is I wanted to see how much performance or how much a Haswell or not Haswell, Sandy Bridge or Ivy Bridge i3 can still give in 2025. And since this video is going to be released a couple of days after Windows 10 dies, or rather reaches end of support, I thought we'd also have a look at a new Linux distro that I think a lot of people would like. It's called Fedora OS and it runs on GNOME, which is the desktop environment it uses, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I thought, hey, why don't we try it on? Let's make a kind of sandwich video, try and see how much performance is left out of this thing, as well as seeing how well it can do Fedora, because I have seen some other people use even older machines on Fedora, and I've got high hopes for this machine. I'm hoping that'll be a pretty nice experience. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the inside of it, and then I'll set up the table for testing and we'll see what happens from there. Alrighty, so looking at the front of the machine, you can see it's got one of those stupid glossy front panels. And yeah, it's all scratched up and you can see me, hello there. And I will say, at least it does look quite smart when it's not scratched up. But yeah, please excuse my squeaky chair. You'll probably hear it. You probably heard it earlier, and you probably will hear it later on. You can see a nice power button here, which is pretty squishy and nice. Tiny little hard drive activity light. They kept it like that for quite a while. And that reminds me, with this power button, annoying thing is when it goes to sleep mode, it turns orange, which is usually like a failure code. Under this door, which usually breaks off, same with this one, I've seen it broken on a lot of machines. We have an SD card reader, 3.5mm jacks, and USB 2, which is all normal. And on this, in this door, we have the DVD drive, which does not work for some reason. It's not an old machine. It has no excuse to be lacking. And then underneath that, we have our eject button, as well as stickers for Windows 7 and Intel i3. Let's turn it on its side now. Looking at this side, you can see somebody's put a Windows 7 Pro license sticker, and you can also see it's got some ventilation as well as a nice kind of embroidered logo there for the Inspiron name. But yeah, if this layout, this whole machine seems kind of familiar to you, that's because we looked at a similar, well, form factor of a machine from Packard Bell, was it? Yes, the AMD A4 machine that I sold on. That was pretty much the same as that, and I actually really liked that thing. Apart from its performance, it was terrible. So that's why that was one of the reasons why I got this. I like its form factor. It's pretty neat. Got our CPU fan intake. It's got a shroud all over there as well. You can't really see anything else, which is nice. Keeps it looking good, and you can see all the fingerprints on it too. So that's not great. Let's spin it to the rear. And here's the rear of the machine. You can see it's got a graphics card in it already. It came with a different graphics card. I've had to put this in. That's because of Linux issues, as we will talk about that later on. But we have a regular 3.5mm jacks, VGA, HDMI, USB 3, which is nice to have, and 4 USB 2, as well as gigabit Ethernet, as well as a little tiny 220 watt power supply down there. Yeah, let me show you the top of the machine now, and then we'll open it up quickly. Here's the top of the machine, it's got a Windows 7 Home Premium license sticker. That's the original one. The previous owner added this one for unknown reasons. I believe they just wanted a remote desktop or whatever other tools the professional one allows you to have. And we have some ventilation here for the graphics card. There's no vent coming out of the back, but at least there's an intake vent. And we have our service tag here. You can go check that up online if you want to. But yeah, let me reposition the camera now, and then we'll have a quick look inside. Oh yeah, that reminds me, before we look in the inside quickly, it did come with this lovely wallet full of stuff, and it's just like that's the DVD for Windows 7 Pro and Microsoft Office Business 2010. Came with a receipt for that. It was like £170. Inspiron 660S Quick Start Guide, Logitech webcam manual, Adobe Photoshop Elements, drivers for that camera, HP DVD driver for a monitor, and Paint Shop Pro, as well as the drivers and utility CD, which is all nice to have. Now let me just get my screwdriver. Here it is, and we will just open up the screws. Opening the side panel, you can't really see much, can you? But yeah, it's quite a nicely built case, surprisingly, for a modern machine. It's got good. It's actually quite heavy too, so that's nice. But looking inside, you can't really, you can kind of see the RAM here under this shroud. It's not easy to take off, and it feels like it's gonna break, but you take this shroud off and you can access everything. It's a regular kind of ITX board, but slightly elongated. You can see my Patriot SD poking underneath there. There's a mount here where a hard drive would go. Here it is, the old hard drive. It's a 1 terabyte 7200 Barracuda. It's quite nice. It is not the fastest thing, and unfortunately I did put it in a stupid place, and it might have fallen, so it kind of makes some funny noises now. I have to check if it's okay. But yeah, it's pretty compact. I did clean it up earlier. It wasn't too dusty, and nothing too much needed. But it's got a Wi-Fi card down there. The antennas are in the front area here. No intake fan or anything special like that. As well, also that you might have noticed there's a ×1 slot there, so you can add that for different expansion cards. Maybe you can get a mini sound card or something in there. That would be fun. But yeah, it's all pretty neat. I mentioned the power supply already. It runs quite warm, which I'm not very happy about, but yeah, it's alright. Let me just get one more thing to show you, and then I'll get the thing running up. And here we are. Sorry about that, shaky. And this is what I wanted to show you. It's just the old graphics card that was in it. It is a GT620. It's got HDMI and everything. It's basically identical in performance to what's in it right now, according to the web, but I think it's slightly better than that stupid HD 8490. You guys have seen that card already in that video I made a while ago of the HP Pro 3010. Yeah, it's that piece of junk. I was thinking of putting this Radeon Pro 3100 in it, and I might do that. I'll probably talk about it later in the video as well. But it's a nice card, and it would be pretty cool to have in here, especially since this motherboard is PCIe free and everything, and this is a UEFI card, so you know, bim bam boom, good match. Be nice. But let me know, guys. I might do that later on. But anyways, let me close it all back up and we shall get it working. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I don't show the info sticker at the bottom. But yeah, still made in Poland. And again, there's our service code. It still has all the rubber feet, which is nice. And it's multi-voltage, which is also good. yeah, nice. Anyways, let's, like I said, get it running. Alrighty guys, I've got everything set up on the table here. I've got my regular mouse and keyboard things here, nothing special. Let's turn the machine on. And we'll go into the BIOS because I don't actually have any form of way to show you the specs properly. I'm sure there's plenty of software out there, but I just didn't find the time to look for it. But as you can see, we're on the latest BIOS. Well, actually, how would you guys know that? But anyways, now you do. We're on the latest BIOS that this machine got, which is surprising that it got it for this late, 2018. This machine released in 2011 or so. So for a consumer machine, an Inspiron, not an Optiplex, not a Precision, nothing like that. I am surprised that it really got BIOS updates for that long. Please excuse my squeaky chair. Apart from that, there's also the CPU that we have. I already spoke about it earlier, but you can see it's got 3.3 GHz clock speed, 2 cores and 4 threads. You can't see that for some reason. And that's the cache that we have, as well as the RAM that's in this thing, which is, like I said before, 12 gigs of RAM, 133 megahertz, and yeah, everything's fine and dandy. One thing I did read about this machine, there's a lot of things that are like wrong on the internet about this, a lot of misinformation. But people think that you can only put 8 gigs of RAM in this, but well, I proved that wrong, and I'm sure there's other people who've posted that in forums and things, but yeah, you can put 16 gigs of RAM in it and it will do just fine. I think it's only up to 33 megahertz, but it could take 1600. Don't actually have any 1600 RAM, 1600 megahertz RAM lying around. But oh well. Apart from that, it's just a regular old BIOS. Only thing that's really changed with the update is the Dell logo, and that's about it. This machine, it did come with a 1TB hard drive that had it looked like it had the factory partition on it, and to an extent it did, but the previous owner messed it up because they upgraded to Windows 10, and that seems to have, messed up some files. But yeah, you can see Fedora's there, and it's got UEFI, and it also has this feature where you can just load up legacy stuff as well. So yeah, it's really quite forgiving in what it can handle and what it can't handle. It's got secure boot as well, no TPM, so yeah, you won't be able to run regular old Windows 11, but you can possibly get away with Windows 11 IoT. But let's boot into Fedora quickly. It doesn't take too long, but I'll skip ahead. Alright, so here we are on the login screen, and I'm only going to show you this first because you can change which version of desktop environment you want. So actually you can't really see that properly, can you? Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, you can either have GNOME regular or GNOME classic, but let's start off with regular. And well, here we are. It's quite, if you've used Ubuntu, you'll know what this is. I mean, layout wise at least, somewhat. But for people moving from Mac and Windows, it is kind of different, and I will say it's not everybody's cup of tea. It did take me some time to get used to it, but I'm actually quite happy with it. I will say I still like how Zorin was, and as well as Manjaro and the rest. But this one, I can see it being useful for some people. To open your apps, you got this kind of menu here. You can also go into your workspace. They call these workspaces, and you can add more and more. But this is basically your regular desktop, and if you just want to get your apps, you just press your Windows button, and then yeah, everything's here. and you get a whole bunch of things. And thankfully, we're at a point in time where a lot of Windows stuff can just work on Linux thanks to Wine and all of that wonderful things, as well as the massive community that's trying to make everything easy for others in terms of just porting everything over and all that, which is good. It's nice, and that's why I'm honestly considering moving to Linux, because I don't really do anything these days that requires me to stay on Windows. I don't really have any specialist software anymore, or anything that requires me to be on Windows. So for a regular user, it actually could work. You can get Microsoft, instead of having Office 365, you can have LibreOffice and all that stuff, and that all supports the formats that are proprietary to Microsoft, as far as I know, and it works quite well. And this machine does it still. This machine, generally speaking, it does everything pretty well. No, thank you. So here we have something that's like Excel, and as you can see, that's one funny thing. You just hover your mouse there, and yeah, well, that's good. And yeah, it's all pretty fine. And apart from that, there's also, let's have a look at the settings quickly as well, and then I'll start off with my regular old tests and things. It's quite nice. I'll close this as well. It's very simple, and that's what I like about this OS in general. Everything is really simple and plain and nice looking, and it's probably why it's so popular these days. And I think these are used on framework laptops, if I remember correctly. That's all of these, so many different options, so many to make it work the way you want it to be. And apart from all these things in here, there are extensions and tools and things you can get online and change this desktop environment to your liking. So you can have icons on your workspaces, for example, or you can have your dock here on the workspace as well, which is nice. And there's a whole load of different things. Look at this, like a well-being thing here. Like this week I've spent 3 hours, and file sharing and all that, and that's pretty handy that it has it built in. Saves me time from having to install all these other packages and things to get that to work. So I can probably just access my NAS from here, so that's good. Media sharing as well, that's nice. All your online cloud, you can see, you can add all of your stuff here, and that'll all work. It's all just very nice and easy and simple. And that's not really what I expected. I thought this would be for more advanced users in that sense, but it's not. It's perfectly simple, and even my printer shows up here. There you go. I didn't have to install drivers or anything for that. Shows up my monitor here too. Perfect. All good. And yeah, it's all very nice. And I'll show you here too. You can see my Wi-Fi name there. It's got a power. You can select your power mode and everything from here, which is cool. But one thing I have found that's a bit annoying is that with the Radeon card in here, it always shows this message, and I don't know if it's a driver issue or anything, but it's not running hot. I know that. And if there was a command that you can run on the terminal, and that would show you the temps and everything. Actually, I can try and see what it was. Let's see here. Well, I just gave it a try. It looks like I don't have the package installed right now. I did have it installed on a previous install when I had the GT610 in, and if you're wondering why I had to reinstall this software, the OS, I mean, It was just acting a bit funny, and I don't really know why. And also, I wanted to have a UEFI install, not legacy, so that's why. That was the reason. Yeah. Anyways, let's start off with regular web browsing, and we'll go from there. See how it does in a couple of games, and we'll end the video. Alright, here we are in YouTube, and as you can see already, it takes a while to buffer. Either that's to do with my internet, or it could be due to the graphics issues I've been having. Well, YouTube playback for some reason does not work well. I've had errors and things showing up, and it's just really annoying. I can't get it to run smoothly. Sometimes it'll do it just fine if I just pull up another, like a 4K video or something here. Let's see. Oh yeah, well there you go. It'll give me something like this, and I can just feel here. It's not, the graphics card is not hot or anything. Let me turn off my ad block in case of that. Turn off this too. And let's see. Oh dang, ads. Hang on a minute. Okay, so that was a fail. Looks like it just kept on wanting to play ads. But yeah, this is one of the issues I have with just running YouTube on this machine, and I don't get it. I really don't. But otherwise, let's try Venjaya and see what happens. I think it'll do just fine with this. I'm sure the GT620 probably had a tiny bit more performance thanks to its faster memory clock, I think it was. But yeah, this one does okay too. I think we've seen the performance of this card anyways. But for regular use, this machine in general just does okay. I did use it on Windows 10 for a little bit with the original hard drive. Obviously the hard drive was slow. I can't get up there, but obviously the hard drive was slow, but it did not feel like it was too slow apart from that. Like in the sense that if the hard drive was not there, being slow, it would have done okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Which is surprising. I honestly thought pretty low of these little i3s from this era. I thought they had just passed their time and everything, but nah, they still got something to give, which is good. But let's try a different game now. Alright, it wouldn't be a Linux video if we didn't try good old, what do you call it? Super Tux card, yes. Let's put that on a free, or let's give that free, yeah. That'll do. Give me 1 second. And here we go. Don't have a frame counter, do I? Oh, great. Yeah. Plays alright. And another thing I like about this machine is, apart from that silly graphics card fan, it is completely silent. Even when it's under load, you can't really hear it at all. And that's something I quite like. And I was trying to have a conversation with my dad about this earlier, but he doesn't really like these machines for their size, and frankly I think this is the best size in a way, because when you get smaller to those ultra small form factor machines like the HP mini PCs that we were looking at earlier and the Lenovo Tiny, sure, they might have the same performance on paper, but when you consider the amount of heat and everything that they end up having, and then they end up having to throttle themselves, you just kind of think, well, what's the point of that? And plus, they only just added an expansion to these machines, like 10 years later, 12 years later, since they first came out onto the market. So yeah, I guess that's another win for these little desktops. They're quite handy. Anyways, let's stop carting up for a bit and let's try another game. And before I launch the next game, I just want to show you something quickly while Steam logs in. There we go. I had some UI problems earlier, but I don't know why that was. I really don't. Oh yeah, it's still happening now. It didn't happen on the previous install, it's only happening on this one. So again, what's going on? Is the graphics card having issues or something? Or is this just Steam being Steam? But that's besides the point. What I actually wanted to show you, excuse me, was look at this button. Show only games that run Linux, right? All of my games run on Linux just fine. Now, mind you, I don't play the same games as everybody else does, and you know, everybody has different tastes, but for me, at least, everything that I play usually showing up fine just here. It'll play it. It'll run on Linux just fine, and that's thanks to Steam's translation thing. Like, it's their own version of Wine, and I think it's called Proton, if I remember correctly. And as you can see, it's just messing up. Well, we won't play this one today, but my point is, we've come so far, because I remember not too long ago, I'd only have a couple of games here that I could actually play on Linux, but yeah, that's cool, man. Anyways, let's launch one of these games I have installed and see what happens. Alright, starting off with Half-Life, and there's a couple of weird things going on. I've noticed this little black block there, and even just with the when it was loading up the like Valve logo and everything, it was just looking a bit funny. But yeah, let's give this a try. It should do okay. Can't tell how many frames I'm getting. Not sure on my frame count. It doesn't want to show up. Is it? It's on the right resolution. Yeah. Okay. Let's start a new game. Now it decides to show it. 40 FPS. Oh. Of course, it doesn't look great, but to be honest, we are running at a slightly high resolution for this poor graphics card. It usually does work better in Windows. Again, also there's actually audio missing from this. Like, there's supposed to be like a background sound thing. This is weird. Something's not right. I don't know if it's trying to do Vulkan, because this thing doesn't support Vulkan, but I do not get it. This is strange, and I can hear the graphics card fan taking off there. Usually it doesn't do this. Yeah, something's funny. I've said this millions of times now, but something's funny with the graphics drivers. Oh yeah, we've got motion blur on and everything. But apart from that, it does it just fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let's get off the train and see if there's any drops. Oh, we're getting up to 60. 57. Yep, up to 60 now. There we go. Yeah, looks like we're doing alright. Unfortunately, we don't... actually, I can just change something really quick. There we go. You can kind of see more now. Looks like our CPU isn't doing too much. GPU says 0% utilization, so yeah. Just to confirm that something's not right about that. CPU is running at a nice 44 degrees. And I did actually change the thermal paste on it, so that's good. And GPU's at 61. So there's no memory on that, so yeah. It's not happy. But oh well, let's try the next game. Alright, here we are in Team Fortress 2. Let's turn these down a bit. And this is on regular legacy OpenGL type things, so it should do better, hopefully. One thing I didn't show on camera. Oh yeah, this keeps showing up. Steam is not responding. Okay. Can we play the game? And I will be right back. Alright, so this thing keeps on happening when I'm trying to play Team Fortress here. It won't go into a session or anything. This is just an offline one, by the way. It's a training thing, but it has trouble connecting to Steam services while playing games, and I don't understand that. You can hear the GPU fans giving a bit there. Yeah, 30 FPS. When I had the shader detail set on high, it was getting around the same, basically. So yeah, perfectly playable though. At 40ish. You can see the GPU times at 62, which is not bad. It's okay. And CPU's climbing up to 51, 49ish. It's getting a bit more usage in this game than Half-Life, of course. But oh my goodness, he looks terrible. Yeah, low settings is not the prettiest thing, but it'll do. I just want to let me skip a bit forward a bit. Here we go. Let's see what happens. See how much of a lag drop we get. What? Oh. Yeah, 37, 30. There we go. But yeah, it's okay. It's not that bad at all, really. What I do want to do is see how it does on Intel graphics, because I know there's better support for Intel graphics, especially because, you know, more people are trying to run that rather than a crappy old Dell OEM type card like this. I mean, the card that's in here is actually, I think it was from. This machine had two options. It was either a GT620 or a HD 7570, and this card is just like a much worse version of the 7570. But yeah, guys, let's wrap up the video now, and I'll give you my final thoughts on all of this. So there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed checking out Fedora with me, as well as seeing if this thing has any life left in it. And, you know, I think it really does, personally speaking. There are definitely a couple of issues, and that's more to do with the graphics, if anything. It's just pretty abysmal. If I did stick my Radeon Pro card in this thing, I think it would do pretty nice, and I might actually do that for a little shorts video, as well as just, if not, I might actually bring this thing out for another Linux distro checkout video thing. But that's up to you guys. You can leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys want to see. And yeah, as usual, I'll just leave you with the regular old thing. Nobody's gonna force you to like, subscribe, whatever. We don't do that stuff on this channel. It's all chill here, man. You're here to join me in my relaxed videos that end up being quite a mess. But yeah, guys, hopefully I'll see you in the next one, and bye for now.